Well, I pulled the seat out of the Mercedes and it is in sad shape. So here's what we've got. This support right here is broken out. This goes right here. So what we're gonna have to do is piece in a piece of metal there. The problem we've got is we can't weld on this thing, so we're gonna try our best to put this in there. These came from Lowe's. These are, we're gonna hammer those flat. They're just little wood support brackets, but they're really stiff. A lot stiffer than this original metal. So we'll use one of those and hammer this flat, stick it in there. These are like 67 cents. I may have to trim it up a little bit to get it to fit. So we'll get one on each of those. We're gonna rivet them in, or that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Then we've got, it's busted out up here too, but I don't think I can do anything about that. I'm not pulling the upholstery off this thing. So I think it's gonna have to stay busted right here. This side's still intact. Yeah, I think this side's just gonna have to, it's just gonna have to stay like that. But I think if we fix this, that'll help this back here. And what I may do is shove a pool noodle in behind here to help stiffen that bottom up where it's so, it's collapsed just because there's been no reinforcement here. This has been busted out so long. Yeah, so we got that to deal with. And then we've got the bottom, which is honestly probably even sadder. Pretty much all the, you've got these springs, and then you've got the side support springs. Most of the side support strings are broken. Broken. Let me get the light on, hang on. That's better. Broken. It's a broken. Is this one together? This one's still together. That one's still together. That's still together. Broken. And then I feel like there's one missing in here somewhere. So I think what we're gonna do here, I have a pull, and so I actually have pull noodles, but those have been out in the sun and the chlorine, so they are gone, they're disintegrating. So I looked around, finally found some at Lowe's. We've got they had the smaller size and the larger size. Compare the two, the smaller and the larger. So we're gonna see which ones fit the best and shove pool noodles around the seat frame. We may have to use a combination of the small ones and the large ones. You know, maybe put, I don't know. We'll do what we can to get some in here and get them attached and to help support this seat frame where everything's busted. And we'll probably put, try to fit the larger ones in there to give us just a little more support. So I'm thinking a large one, you know, cut to fit right here in the side, on each side, and maybe a large one on the front, tie wrapped in place to the frame. We got a support bar right there. Oh, it looks like somebody's has put a piece of wood in there. Yeah, and like I said, I don't remember if I mentioned this, but they've wired the springs together. So yeah, I don't know. We'll do what we can to get some of those noodles in here, build this back up. The goal here is just to make this seat more comfortable until I find another seat. This upholstery that's on this one is only available in 84 and 85. So they're hard to find, these seats. You know, you got to find an 84 or an 85. You got to find with this Palomino interior. And so, you know, you got a lot of stuff you got to look for, which this seems to be one of the more common interior colors, but still you're still limited to 2 years of seats. So we're gonna do our best just to make this thing more comfortable until we find a better seat. Yeah. So I think for now, I'm not gonna mess with replacing this. We might. Probably not. We're just gonna leave that alone. And then I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Probably leave it alone. We'll save our new armrest we got and save it for a better seat. Because this thing, like I said, is junk. It is so broken up. So let's get started. I've got those support plates right there that we're going to put in, and got some rivets. And so let me start. I'm going to start drilling out these broken ones and start getting some of this stuff prepped and ready to go back in. And we'll continue on after I get some vice grips, clamp my little support braces in here, and get them screwed into place. And it looks like we're gonna have to, the seat is spread, so we're gonna have to pull it in. So I might have to get a ratchet strap or something, or do one side then pull it in and clamp it and do the other side, because the seat has spread out. So you can see what I did is I just took a Sharpie, kind of laid this, I put a bend in it right here to form to this piece. I could not set it inside, so I laid it outside. It made it a little easier anyway to fit it. And it fits pretty flush, so it's not going to interfere with anything. And what I did, I laid it down here, and I traced, this is where the brake is. So I knew I needed to get stuff on this side of it and on this side of it. I also put spots where there were holes, so I knew where not to put rivets. And so there it is, and it seems pretty strong. It's flexing the whole side frame when I'm doing it. So I tried to get as many as I could over here where it's good and strong. Trying also, there's a spring that comes up through here, so try not to get where it was. And I think this will be good. Right here, it was a really thick. I think that's part of the main seat bracket. So I used my rivet wasn't long enough. Actually I had a longer aluminum rivet. Put that one there. The rest of them were steel rivets because I wanted them to be stronger. So I think that'll do it for that one. So now we need to come over here, and I think I'm gonna wait to attach these until I get this side on. So we're gonna have to draw this in and then clamp it. And I'll do the same thing. I'll lay this over, I'll put I'll trace out where these will be on that bracket, and that way I don't put a rivet in either this spot or these holes. So Yeah, you can see part of that main seat bracket right here. And, I got a few rivets in that one. So that should help beef it up, and hopefully we won't have any issues with this, and it'll last until we can get a better seat. I might go ahead and put one rivet right there. I think, yeah, we should clear. I might have to put an aluminum rivet there. It feels really thick. Yeah, so what I bought these steel rivets. These are medium. And I've got this aluminum rivet assortment, and so these are all different lengths. So I've got some real long ones in here. Alright, I think I've got it riveted well. Concentrated over here, because this is it's thicker over here, and this is the part we got to tie this piece back into. And so put as many as I could get that seemed to be in good metal. Same over here. A little bit bigger area to work in. We got that tied back together, kind of distributed the load on this side because this is thinner. It's reinforced here on the ends, and then of course thinner along here, so we kind of just tried to distribute the load across here. Use the tie strap to suck the seat back together, so we can take that off now. Before I rivet these in, I'm going to take the strap back off and cut a pull noodle, one of the small ones, that will go in right here to help push this seat back, because it has pushed in, and then I'll tie wrap it back in. This seat's gone, but we're gonna make it as comfortable as we can with what is left of it. Broke a drill bit. So let me get this strap off. I don't think we actually have any broke springs on the back, but it's deteriorated so bad. The padding's going bad. I mean, it's in rough shape. So we'll do what we can and get it back together, and continue on from there and go to the bottom. Alright, so here we're kind of in the interim stages of getting this back together. We've still got a little bit of work to make it line up, but we're getting there. That's the bracket piece I've cut, and we're going to need to do a little bit of massaging on it just to get it to fit a little bit better. That's kind of what we've got. We got this, of course, pulled back to give us access. We're going to hit it right in here to kind of try to get this to fit better. And like I said, just a little more massaging just to get it in there. This is one of those brackets, and it's trimmed each end because I didn't need it that long, and I cut off those the ends where, you know, those spikes were pointed up, just because we didn't need it. And it probably would have helped if I'd done it over here too, cut those ends off. I really didn't have to have it this long, and that would have given us just a little stronger piece right here on each end to rivet to, but you know, whatever. I think that's good enough down on this end. But here we didn't need it, and we needed good area to rivet because we don't have much area here to rivet to. So we needed all we could here. So yeah, we've got it. What I'll do is, once I've got it kind of in here like I want it, I'm probably gonna take this and once I get it riveted, and I've got some really big channel locks right there, I'll probably try to grab this edge up against the seat frame and kind of pull this and bend it around to wrap around the seat frame, just to give it just a, you know, even stronger hold to it, make that even more rigid with another bend on it, make it more stout. So let me see if I can get this lined up just a little bit more and hammer it in place. We'll get some rivets in it, in this top piece, and get the bottom lined up as well, get some holes drilled in it, and get it riveted in as well. One thing I did forget to mention, this just pops off, this knob. Now I think on some of the models, I think there is actually a clip that holds it on, but this one just pops off. Once I did that, I was able to slip the upholstery off. It was already all off of this right here. Like I said, this seat and the upholstery is barely holding on. So that's what we've got so far. That's about all the rivets I can get. There's just not much area to work with. I don't want to weaken it too much. And that's what it looks like on the back side. So what we can do now is go ahead and get this lined up, clamp it in place, and drill some rivets. So let me get this lined up, get some C-clamps on it. I kind of needed my small C-clamp, which I was using to clamp this on to get in here, because I think what I'm going to have to do is kind of clamp it right here and here. My C-clamp, I don't think I can get it wide enough to go right in here. I can't really clamp it on the bottom, so I think my best bet is to clamp it in this hole. I'm going to show you. Basically something, well, can't really do it one-handed, but it's going to be kind of in here and clamped if I can. If I can't do that, I'll figure something else out. Alright, I think this is going to do it. I think that's enough rivets in it to hold it. Yeah, we'll throw one more in it right over here. But yeah, that should be good. I kind of, because of this right here, I can't get in there and bend that over as much as I'd like it to. I might try to do a little bit more, but that'll make it a little more rigid, just that much. So it's pretty. Oh, you know what? I probably can come from the bottom. I didn't think about that. Now that I've got it started, I can probably come in from the bottom and do it. I'll try that. So I'm gonna put one more rivet right in here, and I'll come in from the bottom and see if I can crimp that over just a little bit more.